Wangele. Oga pata for China. Xi Jinping don't promise say he go better Chinese economy. He follow talk say he go bring import tariff come ground. Make the serious wahala where them get with US no go become strong thing as in they be before. To follow me touchlight this story na Joy Onwuka, will be business correspondent and analyst for VWS. Welcome, Joy.
Thank you very much.
Joy, you don't they follow this story as in they go. This announcement where Xi Jinping come put for ground, say he won't reduce the tariff plan or the tariff where they ground. How you think say this thing go ring bell all over the world now? When you been don't put this for ground, how people go see them? How the thing go ring bell? Who sign the con people where they around the world? This matter where they ground now.
As you talk, so President of China, when it comes to business, now them big pass. Now China, most of us African countries, they want to do business. Almost everybody to want to do business with America. So now these two countries we they see as world power. Now if, as in they take talk now, when two elephants they fight, you know, now the grass they suffer now.
Not true.
So as in don't talk and say they want lower tariffs, this is not good news for us for world. And everybody don't they look and say, in don't try because in don't show say as a country, say China they willing to bring down their tariff and to accommodate every other person to show say the things where people they suffer, them too they feel them. Because car manufacturers, farmers for the United States too, all of them don't mean they complain. Say this tariff where they took
the condition of the people with the US. no be say they want, no be for bad thing. Their plan na say make they increase, make they better the condition of the people wey dey United States, that's the people wey dey their own country, to protect their own interest. But this new development wey China do, especially regarding to the tariff wey they come reduce, and especially the deficit wey they get.
Company. Maybe like now you get your own company, you can't go China, say you want go get branch for there.
Okay.
Now when they can't go there, Donald Trump they talk say then they force all these American companies to hand over their intellectual properties or technology. And this thing no be better thing, because they like now your secrets for the company now. If you can't hand them over, that means say everybody don't know them now. Waiting go come make you special, nothing again. So now waiting first start the whole fight. When come to say in go increase tariff. Now apart from that one again, you know say China and America, then they interdependent when they come to trade, because then get that trade relationship. But when this whole thing can they happen now, but they still do better pass as they use they grow. Before their growth been there around double digits, but now then they grow around 6.5%. Now still better thing, you know, compared to other economies, especially African economies where they used to. Now still better things. But if this whole trade matter go end, we go see say these two economies go grow well. Because as then they now, they don't put tension for everybody body, and they don't make people who want to invest no can know what then go do. Make it not the like say you don't go support China, America go come invest for you, or you go support America, China go come invest for you. But if they go settle all this thing now, it go reduce that tension. Everybody go come be friends again, and then market and everything go come stabilize back.
So you think we say even for China, their own this thing don't reduce from double digit to single digit. It dey
affect everybody.
Even for US too, so everybody too they are affected.
But all the manufacturers for both countries now, as they produce, they don't know how they want to take use distributors then they produce. You know say before, if they produce biscuits and you know say na lagbaja you dey sell am to, when you finish you go just carry and go give them. But now they no can get who then go for there.
Okay. I see as this tariff matter. Now promise wey Donald Trump bin make that way been dey run for election for 2016. You know that way they run for election for his campaign. This are things wey he been do. And this US wey they talk about now one of the biggest economy for the world, for everybody know US. Now one of the biggest economy. But as this matter come day now, this matter how it come like na tight matter for those wey dey US. And even the issue about this their NAFTA, that one not even come show again. You know, even come show. And including the Trans-Pacific trade part, where they be one come up from. What this one another thing again, where come there for US side.
Now Trump been the one enter office. Part of the campaign where he do now say, in talk say, in go make sure say, in restore America trade. So that America will become one of the biggest countries where their trade be the best for the world. Now we're saying they try to do. Now in our talk say, all those big group them or business group them where them belong to, like NAFTA, like Trans-Pacific Trade Group. Okay. You know, look, say, all these things now, say, you know, they help America.
Okay.
Because of that NAFTA and that other group now, it means, say, all of us country, now go get trade to do with that. Don't be like, say, you know, one get relationship with other people, but you know, look, say, at the best way America go use do business where they go make their money back.
Even boost the economy too.
Exactly.
They prefer the one we be saying only them bilateral one, only them no be multilateral. That one also dey. But for some days we pass now, we see say China go complain give World Trade Organization, what we call WTO. You can't give them see some people don't want chook mouth. People like Taiwan and other economies, they want chook mouth on top this. They want chook mouth on top World Trade Organization. So they won't know.
Okay, you know, say WTO now, the stock markets don't they complain, the manufacturers don't they complain, farmers too don't they complain. So it's saying no be better thing. It doesn't like where Nigeria now, our own governments, they go fight with another country. It go affect us that same way. But as we look and so, we they believe say things go change very soon with this thing.
Thank you so much. You follow us, come join yan on top this matter between China them and waiting they happen for US. We really thank you as you come. We expect even call you next time we go see come touch matter on top this issue where they happen. No, make my people for we country to make we they understand waiting they ground, waiting they happen for business, waiting they happen for every part of the world, for Bodo China, for Bodo America, everywhere. No, make we know waiting they happen. We thank you as you come.
Thank you very much.
Okay, my country people, make una just dey plenty stories. plenty stories still dey ground. But we will go market sharp. We will buy small thing, come back. Then when we return, we go yarn on other matters where they shake ground. See they watch Pride Television.
I can say about this economic growth. That's what I can say about it.
The money when they get, not be the one when they come from outside now. Okay. External is not when they come from outside. When they come from Obodo Ibo land, they come enter Nigeria. Now the one when they get, now it can't be say it can't be safeguarded. Now when we say CBN, if we come in case anything won't begin the economy, and that we need someone to take intervene now. CBN and we come carry money. Arrange the whole thing so it go dey well. So now as it come be now, the thing can make our economy itself, it don't dey better. Then for our country, even the government and everybody, even small businesses, they will have it based on say our reserve don't dey grow well.
Okay, my brother, as you talk and say, you say our external reserve been climbed from 23 billion.
Yes.
It can't climb to 47. That's in that 25 billion. That's 25 billion increase. On top of this matter, and we see we just come up from recession 2016. Now we no dey just again. I think we don't dey recover, we don't dey better. My brother, how this thing will come affect we country Nigeria? How it go affect small businesses? Me and you know say my people they do for we country Nigeria.
Okay. First of all, as the thing moved from around 23 billion.
Okay.
For 2016, it can't enter. It can't even pass 47 billion.
Even pass 47.
Yeah, that is $47.37 billion. You know, for this 2018 April, this month when we did so. Now that one are like $24 billion difference when they did. Now the good thing when they did. Now many things cause this thing to happen. You know, they say no smoke without fire. So this reserve, national reserve, no will grow without say something happen. Something must happen for the thing to grow. And things will happen now. Can be say one. The world oil price, you know, it don't they grow. Before the thing they fall, when the thing fall below $40 per barrel.
And I don't
before,
reach 70.
Now it don't they grow, and now the thing don't reach $70 per barrel. So as the thing they grow now, Nigeria can't get a stable production for petrol. So we can't they export and people can't they buy. So as the money they enter now, the thing can't they boost our reserve. Also, even for the currency market, which they call the investors and exporters window. That be the foreign exchange market. Now this thing don't give you don't get confidence. So those people when they bring money inside the market, when they invest inside the market, they don't get the confidence. See, as then they invest, their money they come out well. They know they put money, the thing go enter fire, come burn away. But now they go put the money, the thing go come out well. So that thing now when they give them that their confidence, say yes, this money the thing they bring money well. The business, the business they get head well. So as they bring in, as they invest this money, now it can't be our foreign portfolio inflow. Now this thing they enter our country well. So this thing they boost our external reserves also, and also say. The way we dey run our matter for the economy, you know, the things when we import, apart from say we dey export oil go Igbo land, we also dey export other things when not concern oil, like all those our agricultural products. Now all those sectors now, even for mining, for trade, and the rest ICT. Now those areas where they call the non-oil sectors. Now. As a government now come bring up say they won't try to reduce the way we carry things enter Nigeria.
And they won't stop like some goods.
So they won't also stop some goods. Now they don't even begin they send things with sense. They go outside Nigeria. Okay, so as the money now they enter, the thing they boost the economy. Also the reserve they grow. So waiting this thing now come in for small businesses, it go make them happy. Based on say with the government don't use system. They stop the way we carry things enter Obodo Nigeria. Now, it come mean say those things when they stop, now the things when we say we feed do them for if inside we Obodo Nigeria, when they call in-house production. So that now when they encourage all these small businesses say, make una they produce them, we dey una back, we dey support una, make una they do this thing. So it will make activities, all the economic or business activities for the country, it will make they boost, they increase, and it will make our economy the better. And don't forget, say, even as they release for the last quarter of 2017, our real GDP growth rate
Don't
increase, and the thing go with 0.8%. So all those kind of things, now that kind of method when government they come out here, it can help the economy. So with all these small business now, it don't give them that boost. Say government did their back, and they produce all those things, they manufacture them, they can make their own money also.
But as this foreign reserve matter they now for ground now, my brother, wetin be the short to medium outlook? As what do people expect? What do people may they expect unto say our foreign reserve they boast? As if foreign reserve they boast now, what do we they expect? As name say now as the thing come be now, what we go they expect? Say at least thing don't increase as in be before 23 million come reach 47 million city increase. What we go they expect now?
Okay.
For the country Nigeria.
You see say last year, November last year, CBN come and say 2018, they won't make sure say our external reserve dey around $50 billion.
Wow.
That one now for 2018, no. Not be say now maybe for January or for February. They say for 2018. Now, it don't even come out now say this now 47, and we just enter the beginning of our second quarter.
And this is just the beginning of second quarter.
This is the beginning of second, and we just see the first half of the year. Now, people when sabi, when sabi book well, they don't even come out now and say the way the thing they go. Now, everything don't do better for Nigeria. The thing they grow. If you mean now this one now means say even before the end of this second quarter, we feel past that 50 billion naira. We feel pass them, and as we feel pass them, now it can't be say central bank with the kind sense when they use and they watch the economy with the way that they use sense, even as a meet last week for their MPC meeting.
Okay.
Yes, they can't come up with say all the parameters when they use for trade. They can't keep them. Say it go dey the same, so they go also they watch as the economy they go. Now it can't be say the way then they intervene for the currency market, when be the foreign exchange market, then go reduce them. So all those kind of things now go even they help the economy, they expand more. So the outlook for 2018 or for the short to medium term now can be say before the 2018 go finish, the external reserve go even boost. It go even boost well. It go go up.
Okay, my people, I don't hear from our analysts wey dey ground say make una expect the thing go still increase, the thing go still better, the thing go even still pass wetin people dey even dey expect. They go even pass wetin CBN been talk say na 50 billion they wan make it reach. You go even pass am. So make we just calm down. The thing go better. It go still improve. It go even better. Say make we still dey make our own product dey improve. My brother, make we leave am make we just leave am for there now. We thank you as you come join us for this matter. We pray say when next we call you for phone say where you dey o, abeg show just to your face, just come see us.
Oh, well,
me and you did this matter. Now Nigeria people, now we happy as you come like that. We thank you so much, my brother, as you come.
Thank you very much.
Charles. My country people, now don't hear wetin dey ground now. African Telecom agent MTN don't deal with, they won't create $400 million from wetin they won't put on top Nigerian stock exchange market. They won't go into Nigerian stock exchange market. Make you find out wetin this one mean, and make you know wetin dey for MTN. Why they go enter this matter? Just chill with us. Make we come go small. We will come back. We see the Pride Television. We'll come back. We'll touch like this kind of matter about MTN. Una welcome back. Ogbonge telecom giant for Africa, MTN, don ready to open shares to the public for im first waka for Nigerian Stock Exchange for 2018. This story na according to dem CEO for MTN. VWS analyst Lekon Fokoejo follow me dey here. Make we for look this matter together wella. Lekon, welcome as you come.
Thank you.
Lekon, the information wey I get be say the ICT we dey call the information communication technology industry. You know, they don't they grow well for we country Nigeria. But as this recession matter come happen, it come affect them too. The way they grow before, no be when they come they grow, they think come reduce. When come shock you see MTN, we be one Ogbonge member for that industry. In short, everybody know them well. Say they want enter for the first time enter Nigerian stock exchange market, and say they want raise $400 million. Brother, that's not big money. How you shock you as you come hear this news, my brother?
I must say, I know the surprise because the Nigerian industry, in terms of the stock markets, don't they pick up since 2008. You just enter like that. You go think say you get money, and you go just enter like that. It they capital incentive.
So you need money.
You need money. You need big money, enough money to enter to start the business. Because service, providing service or data or voice call for people, no, it's not easy for Nigeria, especially because of other factors we contribute to expenses. We go increase the cost of operation. So all these things, if you look at now, it don't today costly for this industry. So the exit barrier too, if you want to live again, it's costly because you see say because of the debts and the capital intensive way the industry be, that's why it they affect Etisalat. Etisalat they are over $1 billion debts where they are or loan where they collect from 13 banks. Etisalat jare they no fit repay them. Now wetin cause them make they come out for Nigeria with that? We Nine Mobile come buy them over. Buy them over before Teleology take over one bid don't bid for them now, so they won't pay for the service now, so that they go take over the company fully. So all these things the industry know they easy. The entry and exit barrier they high, they capital intensive, so not be one easy business where you go fit just put smart or put I say you want start. You must have your money because it very very costly.
You mean see the risk for that business too? They very high.
It high too.
Okay.
Yes.
My brother, they talk say they won't enter inside public. They won't come out. They won't enter Nigerian stock exchange. That's not a big market too.
And a big
how
market
the thing
now.
go be for MTN them? How the thing go? How go increase their level? As they be say they be the number one. And then they lead in top ICT for Africa. But I won't go public now. How the thing go increase their level?
The truth be say MTN a big company. Now the Ogbonge company way there for Nigeria and even Africa. When it comes to say we want to talk of service provider, data, voice call and all that.
They control 22 markets, 22 countries.
22 countries, and they get 42 shares.
Wow.
Now they get 42 shares for the market share for Nigeria.
Before
Airtel and Glo come in with 21 according to Statista. But you must not say MTN now. They coming in now. They not be say they want show face. They want to say now we get money pass or now we be the telecommunication company. So we won't be the first person we go come we go public. No, not be just that one they want. Not be the reason why they won't go public with that. Because they also, as I said earlier, they say they go get some financial improvements for this if they go public. They go improve their finances, their finances for the company. They go improve them, and if you improve them, it go help them. It go help them. They go feel offset their debts, other things where probably in terms of infrastructure where they don't collect, where they never pay. In terms of all the you get many things where you get many things where they go see for this place. So they go. So the money now the most important thing because now the reason why many people they go IPO because they won't ask for public make public invest in them. They don't want to be private company anymore. So they won't ask for public say okay public we get these shares where we want sell for you. Come invest in us so that they go make money and they go continue their service. They will continue and properly give the people waiting they want.
They improve the services. Okay, now it be the better thing we say they get. But what do you expect from other businesses? where they the same line of business. No, say they get Glo, they get Airtel, they get Etisalat. They plenty. Plenty.
You see, I must tell you, say, this thing, I no expect say they go just throw away face. The Etisalat we don't turn 9 mobile now, or Airtel or Glo. They not go throw away face for this matter. They go they monitor them. As MTN they take, because as MTN they take the step, they go they monitor them. On a normal day, if a company don't decide say they want to take a decision and the decision can't help them financially, you go encourage their competitors, say, okay, their competitors go say, okay, they want to do something with, they want also go that direction, because they don't say the person where they did the same market with them, they don't try them and they don't succeed for the plan where you don't take or the decision where you don't take. They won't do them. So Glo, Airtel, 9 mobile, they monitor the situation small until MTN don't go public. So if the decision where MTN takes say they won't go public, can't they successful financially, they will come follow.
Okay, now me we see who go succeed first before we come. No, you
MTN they go use as example. So
now the thing on that one na better thing as they look at. At least make one person go first. Make we know as it go be before we come join. Now better, that was a better strategy where they use.
No be easy something. They know they no be all competitors not just dey for market they sell or they throw away face if their competitors do something. They go they monitor the move. They go they monitor the move and see the outcome. So make we wait till July, July. Make we see how the public listing go for MTN.
Okay. They say they want raise $400 million. That's not big money.
Yeah, not big money.
But what they want use and do?
You see, say MTN, they get many things they wait there for their wait there for their mind.
Okay, their agenda.
Their agenda. Because the most important one are the debts. The most important one. But also, if they go public now, they go reduce their dollar exposure. Because it will help them reduce their dollar exposure. Also, like I don't talk earlier, say this IPO, if they don't enter the public the Nigerian Stock Exchange now, they go raise the 400 million where you don't talk about now. And the thing where they go use them do now, waiting I don't talk before, where even the CEO don't armor over time now. Although he never released so many details of waiting they go use them do apart from the debts. But now the debts they important now. Now the way they go redeem the preference shares of their existing shareholders, how they go repay them for their investments over 11 years. So now waiting they don't release with that. Now waiting people waiting for the matter don't talk with that.
Okay, look on as it be now. MTN won't come out. We know MTN a better brand.
And a better brand.
People know them. But based on their based on the revenue where they don't get, and then the performance where they don't dig ground, we know it's in MTN. Anywhere you go, everybody know them. But how the thing go come be now? As they say, they don't go public now. How people, me and you, people where they public, people where they outside, how they go use look MTN now? Say this now, how brand we say we know. Now they won't go public. How people will come to look this brand? Like, yes.
You see, say the truth is say MTN. They don't do it for themselves they enter Nigeria for 2001.
2001.
So since then they don't do it for themselves. Now apart from Glo, we never change name. Other companies don't come, don't go. They don't change name. Several times. We don't get EcoNet. From EcoNet they change to Vodafone. From
Even
Vodafone
Zain.
they change to V-Mobile. They change to Celtel, they change to Zain, they change to Airtel. So they don't change and now Etisalat don't change to 9 Mobile. So but MTN, they steady.
Yeah,
People don't see them say yes. That's why they don't turn to like household name for Nigeria now. Nowhere you won't go to now where you no go hear MTN. That's why they call and say now everywhere you go meet MTN there. So MTN, people go they view them say okay, this step where they don't take, you go get reason why they take them. Yes, apart from say they strike the deal so that they go reduce their debts. You go also, so at least now the public go get mouth for MTN. Before, now private dealings MTN they do. They sell top counter and all that stuff. Okay. But now their shares go there for public. People go feel buy them. And the fact say people believe say because if you don't stay for industry now for since 2001 till 2018, they don't build that trust. because the brand they don't build the name as well. So the name dey important, and the name MTN wey MTN carry no be just for Nigeria alone. It dey all over Africa. So you know go attract just people wey dey for Nigeria alone. It go attract people wey dey outside as well, because Nigerian markets na im big part for MTN group in Africa. So before I say the Nigerian MTN fit achieve that feat, South Africa dey there wey na where MTN headquarters base, but still Nigerian market na still the biggest one. Now where did they get their better money when it comes to voice call, voice revenue, data revenue, mobile banking and all. Now Nigeria they give them the highest. So that one now enough reason where Nigerians go look them say okay, even Africans as well go look and say okay, now good step be this, make we look wetin they go do, or make we invest in them as well.
Okay, I mean say that now they won't go IPO, meaning say me and you will be co-owners of MTN.
We fit get shares for MTN.
Once we get share, once we're able to access share for Nigerian stock market, everybody, Nigerian stock market, anybody feel access them. See if we buy their shares and if be owners of MTN.
As long as say you get their money for hand.
As fast you get the money for hand, my brother. And you go still come, you go use and still pay up the debt. Maybe they can't get. So now better thing for MTN as we see them. So make we look at. Make we look the case too, my people now. Another investment strategy where they don't come up for. If you don't get business where you want to invest on, MTN they come up for you. Make you look at. Nzekwe, we thank you as you come touch lights on top this matter. As you come to better story, give us on top this matter. Where me to know even know too much. But as you come talk now, me, my people where they Nigeria. My country, even people where they watch us will come, they understand, say IPO, initial public offer, na better thing. And say don't decide me they go on top. And we thank you. Now that will go end down for now. My country people will thank you now today. Now take join us, now take watch this show on top Pride Television. Now that will go end down for now on top Niger business story for now. My name is Regina Wangele. Till next time for me now. Bye bye.
U.S.-China trade war enters new dimension as China pledges willingness to cut tariffs this year and heighten tension. Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele confirms that Nigeria's external reserves are to hit $50 billion soon. And Africa's telecommunication giant MTN indicates intention to raise $400 million from initial public offering. You're watching Pride Television, and this is the Global Business Review with me, Emmanuel Akinboa. The building tension on a trade war between the world's largest economies went a notch down as China's Xi Jinping announced China's willingness to cut tariffs and ease equity restrictions in Chinese industries, especially automobiles, while denouncing what he called the U.S. government's Cold War mentality. Well, here with me to explore the angles to this global trade war story is Joy Owuka, a business correspondent with VWS. Hello, good morning to you, Joy.
Good morning to you, Emmanuel.
All right. The news has been trending for some days now, but it appears we have a new dimension to the story.
Yes, we do.
So what's happening? What's the signal we're getting from the two powerhouses, China and the United States, on this development?
Well, Emmanuel, it's as you rightly said, the Chinese government has finally showed willingness to shift ground in what the world has termed as a trade war between the United States government and the Chinese government. Recently, in a Boa Forum in Asia, President Xi Jinping announced that he's willing to lower tariffs on cars and other import goods into China from the United States. Now, this obviously comes as a good news for analysts and everyone watching the tit-for-tat between both presidents, because right now investors can now, would I say, heave a sigh of relief a little bit, because the tension is beginning to reduce on both ends. And with what the Chinese president has just said, it shows that the supposed trade war is obviously coming to an end, or we're going to see an end to it soonest.
Okay. We also have reports that China is bringing in some concessions on their part, where, of course, that may signal some positive signs to the trade war in that one. But let's look at some other parts of this story. The original intent of the United States government was to harmonize their interests based on the intellectual theft that China have been accused of. But do you think, as part of the concessions, China may also be looking at addressing the issue that led to this tariff hike in the first place?
Oh, well, you see, the whole issue that led to the tariff act, we could trace it back to when Broadcom, the Singapore-based company, decided to redomicile itself in the United States. And then after the C4C's investigation, it was termed that it was not safe for the American government to actually allow Broadcom to take over Qualcomm. And at that point, that was when Donald Trump first termed Broadcom's takeover, when he cancelled the deal and he said he was trying to protect America's intellectual property. But he has now decided to extend it to China as a whole. But like you just said, the intent then was to protect America's intellectual property.
Businesses as well.
Exactly. You know, when the United States president first came into office, one of the things he said was that he was one of his 4-point agendas was to increase trade, to enhance trade progress on both ends. Now, Donald Trump's president's administration is actually trying to do this, but we have noticed that since 2016 up till date, the trade deficit in goods for the United States has reduced, it has increased, from $347 billion to $375 billion. So as such, in as much as Donald Trump is trying to ensure that deficits reduces, rather it's increasing. So this has led to him taking actions by when he started off with increasing tariffs on import goods from China, and then which led to the trade issues we've been having between both countries. And so on that note, we believe that if the Chinese government is willing to shift ground, and the American government representative, or the government of America, is also willing to come to the negotiating table, this would actually help to assuage claims of intellectual property theft. Although the Chinese government has come out to say that's not the case from their own end, as the Chinese government isn't trying to steal America's IP properties.
So there are strong denials from the Chinese government about the accusations from the United States government that there have been intellectual theft. But let's look at the political side of all of this. Donald Trump did make some campaign promises about making America great again.
Yes.
And I think part of that was trying to make American businesses get value. Exactly. And of course compete favorably with the other global economies. Do you think this is more of a political campaign and not based on economic necessities for United States businesses? Is this more like Donald Trump or the United States government trying to flex its political muscle, or this is like a business decision that the United States government have to take at this point in time?
Well, I won't say the President of the United States is trying to flex his political muscle, because when he came in, I told you he had a 4-point agenda, and one of that is the historic tax cuts. And now we have seen this earlier on when Donald Trump, he has cut down taxes for companies. Now, this is one of the historic things that he has done in the American business world, because with the cut of taxes, it's now those companies can now actually channel this excess money they pay in tax back into the economy. So it's more of him trying to make the American economy great once again, like you said. So it's rather than it being political. Yes, it was one of the things he promised while coming into office, but I believe it's more of him trying to build up the United States economy to ensure that it remains as the world's largest
Is the United States economy under any kind of threat?
I wouldn't say it's under any kind of threat, but even when you're at the top, you always want to ensure that you remain at the top and then try to cut off certain things that would want to bring you down. So I believe that's what Donald Trump is trying to do.
So if the United States economy is not under any kind of threat of perhaps depression or whatever, why is China the target?
Well, China is the next largest economy, and if you notice, China is more of an exporting country than an importing nation, and China's market is growing relatively. And so definitely the American government would want to ensure that even if it does not match what China is doing, at least they try to remain on a level playing ground with the Chinese government. So I wouldn't, like you just said, it's not like the American government is under any threat of sorts, but it is Donald Trump's dream to ensure that the American business space remains what it is, and it builds it greater than it's already against other economies. Okay. Just like the United Kingdom is trying to do for itself when it decided to pull out of the European Union. Okay.
All right, we've been discussing the U.S.-China trade war. There's a new dimension to it now, as China have considered some concession on their part, and of course Joy Owuka is here with me to look at the latest development and the implication on how these two global economies will fare. Joy, let's look at the new development now. China have signaled their intention to cut back on some of their threats. I remember some few days ago they made a formal complaint to the World Trade Organization with China's intention or decision to play ball in court now, to ride the storm. What do you think the WTO can do now? Can they now bring both parties to the table and get some concession on both parts? Since China's decided to have some concession, perhaps the United States would also consider some concessions on their part.
Oh, well, you know, the WTO is the international organization in charge of trade between two nations. And of course, the WTO has a due process it has to follow in situations like this. Now, since China as a country has made, it's filed a formal complaint, the WTO, it's expected that it would follow through with its due process and then come out with a formal statement. Since China, President Xi Jinping has come out to say that China is willing to lower rates, the WTO is yet to make any formal announcement on this. So we expect that the WTO would go on with
look at the
its own due process, consider the terms of which the Chinese government is willing to lower its process, and look at consider the American government also, and to also see on what terms would they be willing to agree to what the Chinese government is offering. So these are the things that the WTO has to consider before it comes up with its own result or policies from what the Chinese government has said.
Complaints. Okay, let's look at the United States now. China has come out to say, okay, we're willing to cut back on some of this tariff. We're willing to at least accommodate some of this excesses from the United States government. Let's look at the United States government. How would they reciprocate this? Would the United States government also, are there possible areas where they would also cut back on their threats? Do you think there are some areas where the United States may just soften their stand, as it were, right now?
Well, you see, since the Chinese government made this formal declaration, the United States government has not made a formal announcement towards this. Although the American President Donald Trump tweeted in response to what the Chinese president said, where he said both governments will be willing to work together. But, you know, that's the president's own opinion. Both governments have to formally come together. Now, we expect that since the Chinese government is showing willingness to lower its own tariffs, we expect that the American president would also be willing to do this. Now, let's not forget the fact that this whole issue started with Donald Trump trying to protect America's intellectual property. So, obviously, there are certain portions where we probably might not see him cutting a slack for the Chinese government. But we hope, and we hope that the American president and the Chinese government would be able to sit together at the negotiating table and come up with results that would be favorable for the world's economy at large. Okay.
And before we wrap up with this discussion, let's just look at what does this now mean for the global economy? Some cherry news about the tension between the two global economies. When the news broke last week, the markets reacted sharply on the negative to the news that the two global economies may be heading into what many call a Cold War or a trade war. But with this concession from the Chinese part, and with the expectation that the United States government may also come with some concession, what does this mean for the wider global economy? Do you think perhaps now markets can now rebound with the assurance or with the confidence that this may not actually be as bad or as terrible as envisaged?
Well, like you just said now, it's hopeful that markets would be able to bounce back, because since the Chinese government is showing willingness, we expect the American government to also do the same. And this would also boost confidence on the part of manufacturers and investors. And in the world at large, we know that it's not only the American society or the American economy and the Chinese economy that would be affected if there's actually a trade war. Other economies would definitely be affected. And then let's consider it on the African side. We know that Chinese has a relationship with African economy. Chinese has a direct relationship with African nations where it trades with. So we expect that with this, both countries who are allies of this, China and America, it would be a lot easier now for them to make investment decisions, and then the markets would stabilize with what the Chinese government has done. So we expect more stability. We expect to see it boost investor confidence. We expect people to come out now and trade more. And we expect that the markets would also stabilize and react positively to this. Okay.
All right. I've been joined on this discussion by Joy Onwuka, a business correspondent with the Voidant Wire Service here in Lagos, Nigeria. We'll go on this short break, and when we come back, we've got so much more coming for you on the Global Business Review. Stay with us. We'll be back. Well, welcome back. It's still the Global Business Review on Pride Television. The Nigerian Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele has confirmed that Nigeria's external reserve will hit $50 billion before the end of 2018. The foreign reserves that have recovered significantly from a low of over $23 billion in October 2016 to about $47.3 billion as of April 2018. Okay, so Charles Aboide, our business correspondent at VWS and an analyst, will sit with me now to provide analysis into Nigeria's growing foreign reserve. Welcome to the program, Charles.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel.
Some cheering news coming from the CBN. Perhaps Nigeria's foreign reserve is growing by the day.
Yeah, definitely.
Fill us in on the figures and what exactly is responsible for this cheering news.
Okay. First of all, I will start with the trend or the growth, to this foreign reserve. Now, if we look at it, let's take a look at a 3 years trend. In 2016, there was the foreign reserve fell to around $27 billion US dollars, which was a fall from that of 2015. In 2016 rather, Nigeria experienced recession. They went into recession, in which they came out of it out of the third quarter of 2017. So from $28.3 billion, it fell down to around $27 billion. Then in 2017, owing to the economic stability, the GDP growth rate, and the real GDP growth rate in 2017 was growing at 0.8%, of which 2016 was a negative 1.6%. Now, 2017, the external reserves rather, was at $38.8 billion. Then at the beginning of this year, 2018, the reserve was, around between $38 billion to $40 billion. And from January down to February, it moved up to 42. Then 42 to, from February to March, it moved to 46. And just last week, the CBN just announced that the external reserve has grown, for April, around 47, above $47 billion. And it's a good thing, it's a good news
it's a cherry
to Nigeria. Yeah, very, very cherry. And there's some factors, led to it, this. Now, if we look at the stability in the national economy, there has been a stable growth rate in the economy. And with this growth rate, looking at 2017, unlike 2016, from 2015, we had a GDP growth rate of like 2.7%. Then 2016, we fell to a negative. Then 2017, the economy became stable. And now 2018, you can now see the effect in the external reserve growing. So some factors led to this. And one of it is the rate to which the central bank, was interfering or was intervening in the currency market. It was the rate to which they inject money into the currency market to stabilize it was at a slower pace, and that helped it. Then our non-oil exports, there was a decent flow, of foreign exchange, from our non-oil exports. While we export, money comes in. So the foreign portfolio inflows.
Well, what kind of non-oil exports are we looking at here?
Okay, we look at the agricultural sector, the service sector, every other sectors aside the petroleum sector or the oil sectors, that we export outside, out of the country, and the money coming in, the capital coming in, it has been decent, it has been encouraging. Okay. Then one of the good things there is the stability, the rising of the world oil price. The rising
also
oil
brought in more income.
It led to a stability also in the economy regarding the petroleum sector and also the oil sector rather. And it also brought in, more money into the economy. Yes.
Okay. Let's look at the wider implication of this external reserve growth. What does this mean for a layman on the street, a small business owner, that Nigeria's foreign exchange reserve is about eating perhaps the highest in about 3 or 4 years, $50 billion. What's the wider implication to the average man on the street and to the economy at large?
Okay, you see, this external reserve that has, is about to hit the CBN's projection of $50 billion for 2018. Now, we are already at $47.37 billion. Now, for the layman or for the country, it is a big encouragement. Nigeria is the biggest and the largest economy in Africa. And such happening, it now tells us that the rate to which, or the macroeconomic framework which we are operating here in Nigeria as regards the our trade balance, as regards the kind of things we do in the economy, those policies we bring in just to make the economy stable, those things is a positive thing. And now, when the federal government came up some time ago on trying to using the import substitution strategy to restrict the rate to which we import, CBN also came up trying to discourage unnecessary import of things into the economy. Now, this now shows that the local businesses can now manufacture those things we were importing. So the government used that strategy as a way to discourage importation of those things which we can import in Nigeria, which we can produce rather in Nigeria. And this, is a way of encouraging Nigerians to patronize made in Nigeria goods. And when these things are being patronized, you are now, expanding the economy, based on the especially activities that taking place within the economy. Okay. So to the common man or to the country is an encouraging.
Let's look at the graph on the screen now. The graph on the screen shows us a geographical rise in Nigeria's inflation rate. In April 2017, the reserve rate was at $30 billion. Of course. But in January 2018, we witnessed some upward swing up until $46 billion. Charles, looking at the graph on the screen now, what would you say is responsible for that upward swing we've noticed in the last 2-3 years in the Nigeria's foreign exchange reserve?
Okay, just like I have mentioned before, some of the actions that was being taken by both the federal government and the monetary authority in Nigeria, led to this. Now, let's not forget that in 2016, when Nigeria was, when the economy actually was, in recession, between September and October of that same year, 2016, the external reserves was at around $23 billion US. And after that, by November, which was between September down, between October down to December, that was the fourth quarter. So at the end of that third quarter, the economy started picking. What
were the factors? What were the factors that actually triggered this?
Yes, growth? I'm coming there.
Were they government policies? Were they increased business activities in Nigeria? Well, increased production from the local manufacturing sector?
The increase in the economic activities in Nigeria, it can also be linked, to the policies by the monetary authority, as also with the federal government of Nigeria. Now, like I have said before, the monetary authority in Nigeria, they came up and let's now look at it and say, okay, right now, the way we are going to intervene in the currency market, we are going to take it at a slower pace. Now, they're taking it on a slower pace. This led, the economy to be stable. And also, the investors in this currency market, their confidence, was boosted. There was that boosting or the increment of the investors' confidence. And all this led to, the increase in the external reserves. Not also forgetting our non-oil exports. While we export, the foreign direct investments coming into the economy, it was increasing right from, that point where the CBN decided to okay, let's take it slowly in intervening in this market, and the federal government also coming up to follow the right policy alongside with the monetary authority and you can see the external reserves.
Let's also look at the oil, of course, oil accounts largely for Nigeria's, of course, GDP
yes.
income and all that. Let's look at the seemingly peace we've had in the Niger Delta region. The oil bunkering has kind of reduced.
Yes, yes.
Perhaps, of course, the production level has increased with more barrels being produced per day by the Nigerian.
Yeah, and that's another factor that has led to the growth of this external reserve. Now, if we look at 2016, the Niger Delta, there was oil bunkering, the Niger Delta militants, there was high tension in the region, and this led to a decrease in the level of production of oil in that region. But at a point, everything became calm and peaceful. The tension reduced. The rate to which these pipelines was being vandalized and every other thing within that region came to a decline to a cease, and that led to increased production in oil. So those activities that happened in Niger Delta, though they were negative, but in the long run, we experienced peace in the region, just as we are experiencing now also, and that's paid off.
That also helped. But
yes.
Let's also consider the, of course, the wider global influence on how Nigeria's foreign reserve has been growing.
Of course.
The tension between Iraq and Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
These are also two powerful nations when it comes to oil production, a big member of the OPEC, organizing, of course, producing economic communities and all that. Yeah. Let's look at that. Does that also have an effect on Nigeria, bringing more demand for Nigerian oil and, of course, more income also coming in?
Well, every trading economies in the world, they tend to look for a peace or a favorable economy, for them to trade with. And we see Iraq, we see Iran, though they are members of the OPEC, community. And looking at the way to which the political instability
in the Gulf region,
in those regions, how they are. Now, some countries tend to move to a place where there will be peace, where the tension, the political instability is more stable. And
Nigeria may have been the beneficiary of that.
Yes, of course. And some countries, actually, they came to Nigeria, they buy from Nigeria our oil, they buy from us. And the investment or the inflows, the capital inflows coming from the oil sector, is good.
It's largely responsible.
Yes, and now looking at even the rate to which the world oil price is increasing, now we just hit $70 per barrel. So looking at that, the increase before that it was it fell below 40.
So that means that the CBN projection can actually be achieved.
Of course.
Even before the end of 2018?
Yeah, and CBN had a projection of 50. That was as at November last year. They gave a projection of $50 billion for the external reserves for 2018. And look at, this is just the second quarter.
This is just the beginning of the second quarter.
Yes, and we're already at 47.37.
Okay.
Definitely, with every condition, those factors which led to the increase in the external reserves. If those conditions are kept, without being tampered with, with all things being equal. Yes, all things being equal. We have to put that into consideration because anything can happen. But looking at this, if those factors are not tampered with, definitely we can surpass that.
The 50 billion.
Yeah, 50 billion.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I've been joined on the review of Nigeria's foreign exchange reserve by Charles Abuide, who's been talking about how the growth has been sustained by some economic as well as political factors instigated by the Nigerian government as well as the economic watchers and administrators in the country. But on the final, I just want to ask you this quickly. Do you think the increase in foreign reserve for Nigeria can also help with the stability of the Naira?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'd like to leave it at that. All right. We'll still have much more coming up for you on the Global Business Review. Of course, the next story we talk about MTN work with Africa's telecommunication giant MTN do with its intention to get about $400 million from its initial public offering in Nigeria. All that and more coming up when we return.
Both left and right, front and back in Nigeria, know that things are moving very, both economy, everything, nothing move well.
You know, the situation of this country has made everything to go high. You know, now we are in time of change. During corruption, things were so low, but change brings something too high. So I really understand the meaning of the change now. Many people in the jeopardy because their business are not going as before. People have sacked from work. People have lost their main life depending on the situation of this country. So human beings are not happy. It's totally this country we are suffering.
Somewhere last year around this time, we saw per mango 20 naira, but this time around it's 200 naira. So everything is going higher and expensive. So that is what I can say about this economic. That's what I can say about it. 20
naira, no, I'm no more seeing 20 naira notes.
Okay, what about 15 naira notes?
15 naira is scarce too, even 100 naira. All the 100 naira that is available, all is dirty and tough. It's not useful again to be used.
Nothing will fine at all. So this, if I'm here as an old man to open my mouth and explain and tell you what's going on, people will criticize me, people will not happy. So let us just swallow it and wait for the time the Messiah will come.
The richest man in the world came to talk to us about our priorities. It's wrong now. So we should have listened to what the man was saying. I mean, Bill Gates. So see what he told us. So, but our leaders don't listen to anything like that. Well, I think I've spoken enough.
right, welcome back. It's still Global Business Review on Pride Television, reaching you from Lagos, Nigeria. Okay, MTN is offering shares to the public in its debut on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. That will happen sometime in 2018, according to the company's CEO. The move is the first of its kind in Nigeria for telecommunication companies, and analysts are interested in how MTN intends to invest this fund. Okay, VWS analyst Lekon Fakuyejo will be joining me to look at the components and, of course, all that will be involved in this initial public offer from MTN. Welcome to the program, Lekon.
Thanks so much for having me.
MTN, of course, is one of Africa's largest